did you realize that someone you considered a friend was secretly one of your haters?
This is a photo of me and my sweet, sweet friend Colleen. Now, Colleen and I were not always friends. In fact, you could have said that we were mortal fucking enemies. See, Colleen is my husband's ex-girlfriend, and for her own reasons, she wasn't thrilled to find out that he and I were getting married, so of course that made me not like her. But Colleen and I had a mutual friend. We'll call her Kelly, because that's her fucking name, and she doesn't deserve the anonymity. And Kelly was always so eager to talk to me about Colleen, who she was dating, where she was working, anything that we could find online that was embarrassing, we would talk about and make fun of her. So of course, when Colleen and I reconciled several years later, we found out that she was doing the exact same thing to me too. And for some sick reason, she found some satisfaction in watching us hate each other. So I guess the takeaway is, be very careful of the people who are always so eager to talk to you about your enemies, because it will likely turn out that they were more toxic and dangerous than the enemy themselves.
Haters. I'll go.
So I gotta make this really fast. Easter Sunday 2019, I was out with my best friend of 8 years. I ended up getting shot, had to find myself a way to the hospital, got there, did all my tests, finally got in my hospital room, and my family and everybody was there. Then she finally shows up with like a gang of people, 7 or 8, I don't know how much, and the room was over capacity, so my boyfriend told him that I had to wait. That caused the argument, which led to a fight. My mama had to get in a fight, weave everywhere. Then she left finally and started making posts on Instagram saying 1.5, because I had 1.5 million at the time, is just doing this for clout. She got gray. She didn't even get shot. Mind you, the bullet went through my whole body, broke my bones, and punctured like my lung, bruised it. I was coughing up blood, everything. And yeah, she's not my friend no more.
Really one of your haters. I'll go.
Before I cut her off for good, I had this one friend that would always throw digs at me. It was a thing where I was like borderline banter, borderline taking the piss. But me being me, when it comes to friendships and disappointments, I won't say anything until you actually get me mad. I always give people chances to redeem themselves, so I never much disregarded it, but I always had it in the back of my mind to watch this girl's mouth. A few years back, I came up with this idea to start a business, and obviously I needed people to practice on. I was practicing on myself at first, and then she said I could use her. I was ever so grateful. I did the service on her. 2 days later, she came back to me with criticism. Even though it was a slap in the face, I took it as constructive. Like, you know when someone actually makes you feel shy and really bad about something that you're doing? Every single time I propose a new idea, I should always shut it down and be like, you can't do that, but I disregarded it. So like I said, I provided the service on her and she gave me criticism. It was harsh. Literally a week later, she invited me over to her place, told me why I see all the equipment and the gear that you need to start this business. She was trying to push me away from my plan so that she could steal it.
A friend was secretly one of your haters.
When she started downplaying what guys would compliment me on. This is what I mean. So we went out one night and this guy was like, "Whoa, your braids look dope. How long do they take to put in? They're really nice." Before I could even respond, she was like, "Oh, well, those are extensions. She doesn't have long hair, really." Okay, like what was the reason? I said thank you to him, answered his question, turned to her when he walked away and said, "What was that about?" This girl looked me dead in my face and said, "Well, he has the right to know what he's getting himself into. If you have short hair, you should say you have short hair." Miss Girl, this is what?
Really one of your haters.
So a friend says, "Hey, girl, I want you to come to this party." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, it's a party for mature people to buy fun things for their relationships. I'm just going to say that for censor purposes. You'll figure it out. So I get there on time, which should have been like a red flag for everybody because I always get there on time, but I was like, it was empty. And I'm like, "Okay, well, how can I help you out?" And I'm like helping her out and stuff. And I see one couple come in, then second couple come in, third couple comes in, fourth couple comes in. Okay, so that's 8 people plus the host and myself. And I find out that I am the only single person at a goddamn swingers sleepover. Honey, I can't. Part 2. I'm just letting you know. Oh my God.
A friend was secretly one of your haters.
Last year for my birthday, I was talking about it all year, how I wanted to buy my dream car, which was a Jeep Wrangler. I talked about it literally so much to my best friend. Like, that's all I used to say. I can't wait to get my Jeep. Can't wait. Never mentioned that he wanted a Jeep. Literally a week before my birthday, in the middle of the quarantine last year, the same Jeep that I sent him a link to, like, "Friend, I think I'm about to buy this," he literally went and bought the same Jeep, y'all. Mind you, he didn't even need a new car. He had a brand new, like, 2018 or 2019 car. The Jeep was a 2010. He didn't need the fucking car. He literally just got the car because I wanted it, or just so I couldn't get the car. Then didn't even tell me that he was going to get it. I was just over his house the day before. I found out that he got the car by him posting it on Facebook first. Didn't call me. Didn't say, best friend, I'm finna buy a car. Nothing. And then the Jeep ended up breaking down like 2 months after he got it. So yeah, karma took care of that for me.
Okay, stop. I literally have the best story for this. So when I was in college, I was a host at a restaurant, and there was this girl that worked with me. She was a waitress. We literally never had a bad interaction, and I was pretty sure we were friends. Like, we never hung out, but she was cool. I would, like, compliment her. She would compliment me. Everything's fine. So then, like, a couple years passed, and I started dating someone, and I posted some pictures that we had professionally taken by a film photographer for our anniversary. So this is the picture in question. And she wrote this comment. I like screenshot it forever ago, but that I like photoshopped my hand to be small because I'm holding my hat, you know, like this. So so I sent her a message and I was like, hey, I think you're confused about the angle of my hand. It's not Photoshop. You can't even see my nails. And she wrote back and she was like, girl, I don't know who you're trying to fool. You definitely Photoshop your hands to be tiny. And she went off on me and I had to block her. So that was...
I'll go. So you made this for me, huh? Okay, I got you. How about the one time I was married and the girl I thought was my best friend would tell everything to, she was running back and telling him because she wanted to sleep with him. I was not only married, but I was pregnant with my first child. So any and everything, like down to the point where when I told her I wasn't sure if I wanted to have a baby, she went back to him while I was 8 months pregnant and told him that I wanted to abort an 8 month pregnant baby. Not what I said, but I kept wondering, like, and then when I would confront her, she would always be like, well, I just want to be a good friend, and yeah, come to find out she had been trying to sleep with him. Thank you, Yesenia Yadbaro. I never forgot you, bitch.
Was secretly one of your haters.
Ooh, girls, guys. Okay, so when we were out with friends, and then I would get compliments from a couple of guys, and then she would be like, nah, I dressed her, she doesn't dress like that. And I'm like, okay, but like, what was the point? What was the reason? Okay, that was not deep actually. The part that disturbed me the most is when we were getting ready. Like, I always have like 2 outfits in mind, and then I would try on the first one, and then she'll be like, no, that doesn't look good, it looks really bad. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I try on the second one, and then she's like, okay, that's okay. And then she would wear what I wore the first time. Yeah, make it make sense. Like, I thought you said it doesn't look good though. Okay, anyways, yeah, but there are a couple of other stuff that I could not share.
When my credit cards and social security card came up missing. So yeah, there's that.
When he sent news of me to my current girlfriend, and he was supposed to be my friend. Story time later.
Haters.
I was best friends with a girl for 7 years, and for the sake of the story, I'm going to call her Debbie. If Debbie wasn't giving you a backhanded compliment, she was straight up just saying out-of-pocket things. One day, me and all my friends are hanging out in my living room, and Debbie decides to ask me how much I weigh. So I tell her, and she goes, I'm so glad I weigh less than you. My other 2 friends looked at me, and I just put up a hand. I was like, don't even say anything, I don't even care. When her boyfriend of 4 years cheated on her for the upteenth time, I invited her for a sleepover so that I could tell her privately that he was cheating on her, because I was anonymously sent a Bumble dating profile of his. I invited her over, I showed it to her, and I said, babe, stay here as long as you need. Any communication I am happy to do for you. She spent the night. I dropped her off at his house the next morning. And then she blamed me for ruining her relationship. They are still together.
Friend was secretly one of your haters.
I knew I was friends with a hating ass bitch when she or they had a problem with anything I did or how I carried myself. Example. Oh my gosh, your fake eyelashes are so pretty and long and dramatic. Like, oh my god, they kind of look like spider legs. Like, how do you even wear those? Oh my gosh, you have so much confidence for a big girl. I need some of that. You wear such good makeup, but I just wear lipstick and mascara, and that works for me. All those backhanded compliments don't mean shit.
The bitch is a hater and she wants to be just like you. Don't let it confuse you because these bitches are weird.